What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
Space Jam, a movie from 1996, live action, NBA, Michael Jordan, Warner Brothers, animation. Rewatched it recently and figured I'd talk about it since there's not a whole lot out this week in new movies. And I recently they covered it in an episode of Punch Up the Jam, which is a podcast where they reboot popular music, do kind of like a Weird Al fix to the song to make it even better. So they featured it recently in an episode, inspired me to watch the movie. Hadn't watched it since 96. My friend had the VHS tape, so while at his house, we would watch it. I was very into basketball at the time. Got into basketball around 5th grade, just playing, pickup basketball. So Michael Jordan, huge into the Bulls. The Bulls were my favorite team at the time because Michael Jordan was dominating. And then this movie comes out, and I forgot how much this movie shows, like, Michael Jordan's career, like his decision to quit basketball and go to baseball. And, like, because he went to baseball, that's how the Looney Tunes guys were able to sneak him in as like a ringer for their basketball team, because they have to beat these monsters that took the talent from NBA stars. But Michael Jordan wasn't in the NBA, so they couldn't take his powers, but they took like Charles Barkley's powers and Muggsy Bogues' powers and like all these players and Grandmama Johnson and it looked like I forget the other players, but Michael Jordan's powers were left in his body because he was a horrible baseball player and trying to play baseball. And so anyway, he plays basketball for the Space Jam and for the Warner Brothers crew, the Looney Tunes crew. First off, I mean the mix of live action and animation in this, not as good. I haven't necessarily revisited Roger Rabbit in a while, but I feel that did a better job. And movies, it seems like like Ted. I mean, that's computer animation, live action. That was done really well. And they're doing a reboot, I guess, of this, of Space Jam with LeBron James. Be interesting. Michael Jordan, not the best actor. His performance actually reminded me of Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone. Like, if you watch Home Alone, right? 1 and 2, why not? Make it a double feature. And then the third movie and make it a triple feature. How about that? In the third movie, watch Space Jam, and you will notice that Michael Jordan like really has the essence of Macaulay Culkin from Home Alone. Kevin McAllister is really coming out of him. But not the greatest, but he gets to play with Bill Murray, who I forgot was in this, who's just epic in general. And every time he's in this movie with Larry Bird, he's amazing. The guy from Newman from Seinfeld is in this. Just so good. But there's this scene in this movie that like disturbed me. It disturbed me because it's like they're in the, it's a sports movie. So there's, they're doing the sports thing. They're playing the basketball game at the end of the movie, and they're down at halftime, and they're, they need a pick me up. So Bugs Bunny relabels a bottle of water. Spoilers for Space Jam. Secret stuff. He labels this bottle of water Michael Jordan's secret stuff, right? And then he goes to all the players. Bugs Bunny's like, check this shit out. I found the secret stuff, Michael Jordan's secret stuff. He never plays without it. He drinks it. Boom, boom, boom. You see him turn into Uberim in like the shadow of Uberim from the days of the UFC when TRT was allowed for medical purposes. And you see Bugs Bunny just getting roided up. And then, they pass it around, and there's characters that are hesitant. They don't want to take it because they've been told their whole life that steroids are bad. You shouldn't take drugs to cheat. And Michael Jordan, with his words of wisdom in this kid's movie, asks the important question to the character that's hesitant: do you want to win or not? This is the message Michael Jordan and the writers of this movie are sending to the little children. And people are worried about baseball players taking steroids. But this Warner Brothers cartoon movie with an athlete, they're like steroids. And now, granted, it was just water. It was all like placebo effect. But, you know, maybe some kids watching that don't get the nuances of of lessons and things. You know, there may be some small details that they don't necessarily latch onto and understand. So maybe they're thinking, Michael Jordan wants me to be a winner and take steroids so I could win. Not that like bulking up like Ubering. First off, this movie doesn't understand like athletics different sports. Like they think being giant, bulky, like huge things is going to make you better at basketball. But then you look at actual people that are really good at basketball. They're all like tall and lanky for the most part. I mean, LeBron's kind of built, but anyway. So I thought that part was a little suspect. But other than that, it's pretty good. Lola Bunny, by the way, I don't remember her from the original Warner Brothers pantheon of cartoons, but she reminded me of every single chick that was going to SDSU around 2002, 2003. I wasn't attending, but my roommate at the time was going there, and like every chick was wearing the yoga pants, but like not yoga pants. They were like the PJ, like the soft, kind of like lazy, and they were wearing the Uggs. It was when like that stuff was super popular, and there's just everybody wearing that. And that's kind of like Lola's wearing like cutoff shorts, and like, but it's like that aesthetic is weird. I enjoyed it. I mean, this movie probably like imprinted on my sexual preferences in some way. But the downside, so this whole movie, like if they lose, they're going to be enslaved by the Monstars, okay? And what slavery is going to entail is being a stand-up comedian for eternity. They will have to do, they literally described what a stand-up comedian's career is, going up in front of, different people every night doing the exact same act forever. Like, I mean, not forever. Some comedians turn over their stuff. Maybe it's like being a bad comedian, a comedian that's just been using the same material for 20 years and they've never changed it. And that's what their slavery is going to be from the Monstars. I thought that was this movie seemed like it was written by a jaded comedian, like by somebody that had an act for 20 years and then fell off and they were mad. So they wrote Space Jam. They became a writer. They're like, I'm going to write for Warner Brothers. I'm going to do this live-action animated mashup masterpiece known as Space Jam, and I'm going to tell the world of comedy and the comedy gods what I think of their lifestyle of doing the same act every night to different people every night for eternity. What I think. And steroids are cool. I'm going to tell kids steroids are cool. Right? And I'm not going to do it subliminally like the Lion King did with sex in the dust or whatever. This is going to be blatant. I'm going to have Michael Jordan endorse steroids in this movie. And Bugs Bunny's going to be Ubering. That's it for this episode of The Ray Taylor Show. Subscribe. New episodes daily. Subscribe on IGTV and everywhere else podcasts are found. Binge the full week over at patreon.com/inspireddisorder. InspiredDisorder.com for all of my original artwork. Go buy some paintings now at Ray Taylor for me on social media. Have a wonderful week. Have a wonderful day. Peace out.